kicked out my pregnant cheating girlfriend ex-posting from /r/offmatches. A little bit about us. We're both in our 30s and just relocated to a new city across the nation, since I was given a lot higher paid job in an area with usually lower living expenses, as well as being a wonderful place to raise a kid. She is 7 months pregnant at the moment. I was initially shocked because we always use protection, or I pull out, but after some thought I was ecstatic. It was the perfect time in our lives for kids. I just finished the last payments on my flat, low-interest mortgages, and first-time buyer benefits FTW, as well as being a strong contender for the job I currently have. In any case, she's been acting strangely aloof and guarded lately. I put it up to pregnancy hormones, but she appeared even more distant and silent than normal at breakfast. So I asked her what was wrong a few times until she shouted that she doesn't always have to answer me and walked away. Okay, whatever. I was late for work, so I went on my way. I received a message about lunchtime asking if I could leave the lab early since she needed to speak about something really important and didn't want to do it until I came home after a long day. So I wrapped up my job, cleared it with my supervisor, and drove home, picking up some subs for us on the way. To shorten a long tale short, she informed me that while I was working Hell Week at the lab, she met a man while out with some work buddies on a night out, and one thing led to another, and they ended up sleeping together. This went on for a week or two, ostensibly because I was constantly working and not spending enough time with her. I worked 14-hour days at the time and simply wanted to relax at home. She recounted how he lied about wearing a condom, claiming he was using very thin ones, and how he didn't realize what he was doing until she felt it. I can't express how upset I was when she told me, so I got up, tossed her sub in the garbage, and left the house to go for a drive to a friend's home to cool down. Arrived home the following morning and asked that we schedule an appointment for a prenatal paternity test, which she was first opposed to but later agreed to. I made an appointment for the following week that morning and remained with my friend till the end of the day. I took the afternoon off work and drove us there in quiet, save from her sobbing and apologizing, completed the surgery, left her off, and went back to my friends till results day. We received the results today, and guess what? I drove us home and ordered she get out and start packing because I wanted her gone before I came back from work picking up my things from my friends. She was hysterical, telling me that I couldn't just leave her alone and homeless while she was so close to the due date and so far away from home, and that she loved me and wanted me to raise this child with her because it's the only way it'll have a decent life. She's an arts graduate and was working a minimum wage job before the move/pregnancy. I never made it to work. Instead, I drove into a field, called my employer, and he told me to take as much time as I needed, and he'd have a PhD student cover my job. I sat in the back seat for hours, sobbing, while everything fell apart around me. I just put my life in order, and everything was steady and ready for the kid. We even completed the design of the baby's room. When I turned on my phone again, I noticed that I had numerous missed calls and voicemails, some from her, some from her family, and a few from my friend, begging me to come to visit as soon as possible. I called my friend, filled him in, and headed over to his place, and that's what's occurred so far. I haven't gone back to the home because I can't bring myself to do so, knowing that all of my plans for it have died. I'm at a loss on what to do. Quick update. I've been working with a solicitor and her family on some issues. I heeded her advice and after calming down, purchased a one-way coach ticket back home. Trains do not go to. The next morning, I returned to the home with my buddy, and she was still there, as I anticipated. She instantly came over and began holding me and weeping, pleading with me not to stop our relationship. I kept my original thoughts of wanting her to get out of here, so I handed her the piece of paper with the coach ticket and urged her to grab her belongings so I could drop her off at the coach station. After much more sobbing, she packed her luggage, which I placed in the vehicle, and drove us to the bus stand. A buddy was with us the whole time as a witness, since you can never be too cautious. She asked me what she was supposed to do now as an unemployed, homeless single mother. When we got her out of the vehicle with even more weeping and sat her down in the waiting area, she calmed down a little since there were others around, but my reaction was, "Jenny, you're a jerk? Go to Zach. It is now his issue." Just joking, I told her she should attempt to locate the father, wished her luck, and then departed. I had a few calls from her family wondering if I was crazy and such, but I've had my phone turned off since then and I'm just trying to move on. I may write a real post over the weekend and turn my phone back on. But for the time being, I'm trying to concentrate on work in order to catch up on everything. Story 2. Wife cheated on me. I have many thoughts since. My wife and I have been married for 2 years. We barely dated for 6 months before marrying, since that was the only option to keep her in my country. 1 week after our second anniversary, I discovered she had cheated on me. So the precise day she cheated on me was 1 week before our second anniversary. I know this because I discovered a video with another man on her phone. I had never checked her phone until that day, when it kept buzzing in the middle of the night while she was sleeping and I was watching Netflix. It irritated me so much that I went to investigate, and that's when I found everything. I woke her up and challenged her. She didn't confess to it until I showed her the film, at which point she fell quiet and subsequently acknowledged. I was upset, but I could still sleep that night, and I didn't wait till today, 10 days since I found out. After doing further research, I discovered the other person was a police, and I determined to make him lose his job by accusing him of adultery, since he knew my wife was married throughout the chat. After spending several hours at the station, I am relieved that the guy's badge has been suspended and that further disciplinary procedures are being pursued against him. That night, I saw on my wife's phone that she was chatting with a number of men. I've kept an eye on it, but she's aware that I was aware. I've forgiven her 2 days after discovering she had cheated on me, on the condition that she cease contacting those people and ban them. She didn't have much of a choice since the officers had grabbed her phone for investigation and evidence. She has lost all communication with the outside world. I informed her that if I ever caught her again, I would divorce her. She's from a third-world nation with a pretty impoverished family. I've given her a position in my firm and everything she wanted. She probably won't want a divorce until she gets her citizenship. I've been trying to preserve the marriage by spending more time with her ever then, giving her the attention she has always desired, buying her things, and so forth. Okay, here are my thoughts. Will she continue to cheat on me? I used to let her go out with her buddies without any restrictions, assuming she understands what she's doing. But I can't do it any longer. What am I supposed to do? I just feel cheated and enraged. But when I discovered all of this, I didn't criticize or yell at her. I, too, did not weep. Is this typical? How can I put my confidence in her again? Should I remove all her contacts and alter her phone number if she gets her old phone back from the police months later? Should I put a tracking program on the new phone I gave her and give her back her independence while spying on her to see if she cheats on me again? I'm at a loss on what to do. I feel like I should weep, but my tears won't come out. Also, I haven't informed anybody about it, not even my family members, since I don't want anyone to judge her negatively. Please assist. Could someone kindly respond to my thoughts?